Did you know that having too much self-discipline can actually be bad for you, leading to a condition known as self-discipline fatigue, where you eventually burn out and lose all motivation? This might sound counterintuitive, but it's a real phenomenon that has been studied by psychologists like Roy Baumeister, who found that willpower is a finite resource that can be depleted. So, how can you balance self-discipline with avoiding burnout? The concept of self-discipline is often seen as a key component of success, but what does the science actually say about it? As someone interested in personal growth and psychology, you're likely aware of the importance of self-discipline in achieving your goals, but you might not know that it's a complex and multifaceted concept that has been studied extensively in the field of psychology. In this video, we'll explore the psychology of self-discipline, looking at what science actually says about this important topic, and how you can apply these insights to your own life. Self-discipline is defined by psychologists like Walter Mischel as the ability to regulate your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in pursuit of long-term goals, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. This involves being able to delay gratification, resist temptations, and persist in the face of obstacles. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that self-discipline is a strong predictor of success in various areas of life, including academics, career, and relationships. For example, consider the famous marshmallow experiment conducted by Walter Mischel in the 1960s, where children were given the option to either eat a marshmallow immediately or wait a short period of time to receive 2 marshmallows. The children who were able to delay gratification and wait for the 2 marshmallows tended to have better life outcomes later on, including higher SAT scores and lower rates of substance abuse. This study demonstrates the importance of self-discipline in achieving long-term goals. So, if you want to achieve your goals and improve your overall well-being, developing self-discipline is essential, and it starts with being able to regulate your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in pursuit of your long-term goals. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in self-discipline, as it's involved in regulating motivation, pleasure, and reward processing. When you engage in a behavior that's consistent with your long-term goals, your brain releases dopamine, which reinforces that behavior and motivates you to continue. However, when you give in to temptation or procrastination, your brain also releases dopamine, which can create a vicious cycle of instant gratification and undermine your self-discipline. For instance, consider the case of social media addiction, where the constant stream of likes and notifications can activate the brain's reward system and release dopamine, making it difficult to resist the temptation to check your phone constantly. However, by being aware of this dynamic and finding ways to manage your dopamine levels, such as by using website blockers or scheduling social media use, you can develop greater self-discipline and stay focused on your goals. A study published in the journal Cyberpsychology, Behavior, and Social Networking found that self-discipline was a significant predictor of social media addiction. By understanding the role of dopamine in self-discipline, you can develop strategies to manage your motivation and stay focused on your long-term goals, rather than getting sidetracked by short-term pleasures. Self-monitoring is the process of tracking your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and it's an essential component of self-discipline. By being aware of your habits, motivations, and emotions, you can identify areas where you need to improve and develop strategies to overcome obstacles. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that self-monitoring was a strong predictor of goal attainment, as it helps individuals to stay focused and motivated. For example, consider the case of a person trying to stick to a diet, who uses a food diary to track their eating habits and identify patterns of behavior that undermine their goals. By being aware of their food choices and the emotions that drive them, this person can develop strategies to avoid temptation and stay on track, such as by planning meals in advance or finding healthy alternatives to their favorite snacks. A study published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics found that self-monitoring was a key component of successful weight loss. So, if you want to develop greater self-discipline, start by tracking your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and use this information to identify areas where you need to improve and develop strategies to overcome obstacles. Implementation intentions are specific plans for how you will achieve your goals, and they're a powerful tool for developing self-discipline. By specifying when and where you will take action, you can create an if-then plan that helps you to stay on track and avoid procrastination. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that implementation intentions were a strong predictor of goal attainment, as they help individuals to create a clear plan of action and stay committed to their goals. For example, consider the case of a person who wants to start a new exercise routine, who creates an implementation intention by specifying that they will go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. By creating this specific plan, this person can avoid procrastination and stay on track, even when they don't feel like exercising. A study published in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology found that implementation intentions were a key component of successful exercise adherence. So, if you want to achieve your goals and develop greater self-discipline, start by creating specific plans for how you will take action, and use implementation intentions to stay on track and avoid procrastination. Self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and patience, and it's an essential component of self-discipline. When you're able to be gentle with yourself and acknowledge your mistakes, you can develop a more positive and supportive relationship with yourself, which helps to build self-discipline. A study published in the Journal of Research in Personality found that self-compassion was a strong predictor of self-discipline, as it helps individuals to develop a more positive and supportive relationship with themselves. For example, consider the case of a person who is trying to quit smoking, but has a relapse and smokes a cigarette. Instead of beating themselves up over the mistake, this person can practice self-compassion by acknowledging the setback and reminding themselves that it's a normal part of the process. By being kind and understanding, this person can get back on track and avoid giving up, as evidenced by a study published in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology. So, if you want to develop greater self-discipline, start by practicing self-compassion and treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and patience, even when you make mistakes. Setting realistic goals is an essential component of self-discipline, as it helps you to create a clear plan of action and stay motivated. When you set goals that are too ambitious or unrealistic, you can set yourself up for failure and undermine your self-discipline. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that setting specific and achievable goals was a strong predictor of goal attainment, as it helps individuals to create a clear plan of action and stay motivated. For example, consider the case of a person who wants to lose weight, but sets a goal to lose 50 pounds in a month. This goal is unrealistic and sets the person up for failure, which can undermine their self-discipline and motivation. By setting a more realistic goal, such as losing 1 to 2 pounds per week, this person can create a clear plan of action and stay motivated, as evidenced by a study published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So, if you want to develop greater self-discipline, start by setting realistic goals that are specific, achievable, and aligned with your values and motivations. Accountability is the practice of being responsible for your actions and holding yourself to a higher standard, and it's an essential component of self-discipline. When you're accountable to yourself and others, you can develop a sense of responsibility and motivation that helps to build self-discipline. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that accountability was a strong predictor of goal attainment, as it helps individuals to stay motivated and responsible. For example, consider the case of a person who wants to start a new business, but is struggling to stay motivated and focused. By joining a mastermind group or finding an accountability partner, this person can stay motivated and responsible, and develop the self-discipline needed to achieve their goals. A study published in the Journal of Small Business Management found that accountability was a key component of successful entrepreneurship. So, if you want to develop greater self-discipline, start by finding ways to hold yourself accountable, such as by joining a community or finding an accountability partner, and use this accountability to stay motivated and responsible. In conclusion, self-discipline is a complex and multifaceted concept that involves regulating your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in pursuit of long-term goals. By understanding the role of dopamine, self-monitoring, implementation intentions, self-compassion, realistic goal setting, and accountability, you can develop the self-discipline needed to achieve your goals and improve your overall well-being. Remember, self-discipline is not about being perfect, but about being consistent and persistent in the face of challenges, and by applying these insights, you can develop the self-discipline needed to achieve success in all areas of your life. Thanks for watching this video on the psychology of self-discipline. If you want to learn more about how to develop self-discipline and achieve your goals, be sure to subscribe to our channel and comment below with your favorite tip or strategy for building self-discipline. What's one thing you're going to do today to develop greater self-discipline and achieve your goals?